Right, because I've been asked a couple of questions today about making a batter mix, I'm going to show you how I make a batter mix for Yorkshire puddings, for toading the hole, that sort of thing. One sort of medium sized egg, throw it into a bowl. Okay, good balloon whisk. That one's a bit bent, but it's had a lot of use, it's had a lot of reviews. Throw that up in there, like that, okay. Now, what you want to do in there is add flour, plain flour. This comes from Waitrose, doesn't matter where it comes from, this Bosch, roughly that amount. No point in measuring this because it will vary depending on. Hello, that might have been a little bit too much flour. As you can see, that is now. No, actually, that's just about the right consistency. Fair enough. Basically, you want to get as much flour in there so that it's just really stretching and oozing out like that. You want to get as much flour in there as you can. Okay. Once you've got to that stage, you just want to add a little bit of milk. Which is over there in the fridge, obviously. Just a little bit at a time. A little bit like that. Give it a good whiskey up again, and it will just loosen everything up. Just get some of the spready bits off the side. Just let it loosen up, loosen up, loosen up, loosen up. You can use this for Yorkshire puddings, you can use it for toad in the hole, particularly, Mr. Monty, if you ever do watch this. Okay, see how that's coming to a smooth batter. That's still just a little bit too thick, so I'm going to add a little bit more milk. Add your milk a little at a time, make sure your milk's cold. A little bit more milk in there. Okay, again, give it a little whisk around. Okay, now I was talking to a friend of mine earlier and I was talking about the size of the bubbles. Now I don't know if you can see that, the big bubble at the far end of that, this one here. If that pops, which it just did, add a little bit more flour. You want it just thick enough, but the bubbles that size don't burst. So you're talking a couple of teaspoons of flour there. Yeah, and again, give it a little whisk. Okay, and you can see the bubbles. Hopefully you can see the bubbles in there. I don't know, can you? Can you see the bubbles in there? What's happening now is that those bubbles are, you touch them with your finger and they stay on the surface. Right, to that we add a tiny little drop of water. We're going to turn you around so you can see how little water you need to add. Ignore the state of the rest of the kitchen. Make sure it's cold. Yeah, that's cold. We just want, that's it. I'll come back round here. Okay, so that's that. A little bit of salt in there. That'll do. Again, give it another little whisk. Job done. Leave that for a good half an hour to rest before it goes in. What I'm doing today, I'm actually cooking this as a large-ish, or you could make it in a Yorkshire pudding tray, but this is a Pyrex dish. It's about the size of my hand. A little bit of oil in the bottom, not too much, just enough to coat the bottom. That will go into a hot oven. Heat it up. Once that's hot, that will go in there. It will make the most delicious, enormous Yorkshire pudding. Okay, so that's part one of how to mix Yorkshire pudding batter.